All righty, happy core stability. This is Katie. Make sure we listen to our bodies today. If something doesn't feel good, just let me know and we can try to work through it. I'll give you some kind of adaptation. And if it doesn't feel good at all, don't do it. And let's go ahead and get warmed up. Keep some water nearby as well. We're gonna start with our squats and single arm circles. So we're gonna be standing with our feet just slightly outside of our hips, kind of a preparation for a squat exercise. Then we're just gonna lower our hips, bend our knees, come to kind of a seated position. And as we push ourselves up out of that squat, we're gonna wave our right hand up, overhead, and back behind us. So a reverse arm circle, right side only. We'll go back into that squat position, and then we'll go left arm circle. All right, so let's just repeat that movement nice and slow to start. Squat and a single side reverse arm circle. We're gonna get our bodies nice and warmed up. Shoulders, full body, core included. And as you get used to the movement, go ahead and speed it up a little bit. Started nice and slow, felt some of those creaks and cracks. Good, few more, keep it going. Squat and arm circle. All right, and 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and keep that squat stance, but we can widen it out a little bit further for some windmill toe touches. So feet are nice and wide, toes are pointing forward and slightly outward. Arms are gonna be out to my sides from the shoulders. I'm gonna hinge at the waist and reach my right hand down towards my left foot. Squeeze my abs and come back to center, and then I'm gonna switch sides, bending at the waist and reaching left hand towards right foot. So windmill toe touch, kind of starting to stretch out the posterior chain, getting a little rotation in our spine, also keeping the arms involved. Nice job. We'll feel our breathing rate start to increase as we're moving our bodies in these big compound movements. Beautiful. A few more here. Keeping a slight bend in the knees. Don't want to be fully locked out. And 3, 2, 1. Let's come back up to center. Let your arms fall back down by your sides. Step your feet back to that neutral standing position. Feet under hips, toes forward. We're gonna do some standing marches. You can either have your hands on your hips or on an external support source if you need a little assistance. And 1 foot at a time, we'll start on the right, just driving that right foot up towards our chest, flexing the foot, and we'll place it back down and repeat, driving left knee up towards our chest, keeping the foot flexed. And then just continue to alternate nice and slow with these marches. Really trying to keep your body weight centered as you're raising one leg at a time. You don't want all your weight to lean into one leg or that standing leg. Keeping yourself as centered as possible. Sometimes I like to place my hands on my belly, kind of remind myself of that centeredness. Good. As you get used to the movement, let's speed it up a little bit. Still not letting yourself sway side to side. And if you want to get your arms involved, if you're used to the movement now, you can do runner's arms or sprinter's arms, where you're keeping your elbow at a 90-degree angle and you're just driving that hand forward in opposition to the leg that's forward. So if my right knee's forward, my left arm's forward. And 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and relax. Let your feet come back down, arms back down by your sides. We're gonna do those stationary inchworms. So make sure you have a clear space out in front of you. From that neutral standing position, we're gonna keep our feet planted. I'm going to lower my hands down towards the floor for a forward fold. And then from here, I'm gonna make sure my hands are completely flat on the floor. And I'm slowly going to walk my hands away from my feet as far as I can go, whether that's to a down dog or a high plank, or about a foot away from our feet, wherever we stop. Squeeze your abs, squeeze your glutes, and then walk your hands back towards your feet into that forward fold position. When you're ready, repeat that same thing. Stationary inchworm. Taking these at our pace. These are great because you can kind of choose the amount of rest in between each inchworm. Make sure we're keeping that belly button tightened towards our spine, kind of compressing that whole torso together. Once again, keeping that body centered. We're not swaying side to side with our hips as we walk out and back. You got this. We got just a few more seconds. Breathing rate is raised. Heart rate is raised. Hopefully body temperature. All right, and let's walk the hands back towards our feet. Slowly raise ourselves back up to standing. Beautiful. Once we're back here to standing, we're going to do some of our standing bird dog exercises, starting to work into that balance, but also continuing to raise the core temperature. So from our neutral standing position, I want you to keep your right leg straight and kind of hover that right foot off of the floor and gently kick that right leg behind you. Okay, so kind of like a reverse glute kick. As you kick that right leg back, I want you to extend your left arm forward, overhead, and out in front of you. Okay, then we'll bring right leg, left arm back in, and then we will reverse to switch to the other side, kicking left leg back behind us, raising right arm forward and overhead. And then we'll come back in. So some balance. We're also keeping that core squeeze in the abs. If you feel yourself being really wiggly, just try to remind yourself to squeeze the abs and see what that does for you. Remember, anytime we're moving the body contralaterally, it is a challenge for our brain as well. Good. And remember, you start small. You don't have to raise everything as far as you can the first rep. Get used to the motion and then progress with any exercise. A few more here. Let's go 3, 2, 1. Bring it all back into center. We're going to do some standing side crunches. So from our neutral standing position, let's go ahead and take our fingertips to the back of our head and just rest them there. You don't have to interlace them. Elbows are going to go out to the sides. We'll go right side only to start. We're going to drive that right knee up outside of the hip and have it meet our right elbow, or it might just get close to it. Okay, so it's all going to be depending on your range of motion there, but I want you to drive that right knee up and then lean that right elbow down towards the floor. Okay, so right side only, doing our best to keep our nose and chest forward as we do the knee drive. Kind of warming up those obliques, getting a little balance in, also getting the hip and knees warm. Go ahead and try to take that big exhale as you crunch yourself. Inhale, extend. Exhale, crunch. Nice job. Left leg is our standing leg. It's working hard. Let's go 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and let your arms down. Shake out your hips. Take a little break. And let's work into that left side next when you're ready. I'm going to grab a quick drink of water. Let's go fingertips back to the back of our head. And let's go standing side crunch, left side. Driving that left knee up and out side of our hip. Leaning that left elbow down towards the floor or towards the knee. Really trying to squeeze in that side area. Don't forget that breath. Don't forget to keep the chest and nose forward. Doing great. Keep working, y'all. Last few breaths. You got this. And 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and finish that rep. Let your arms down by your sides. Shake out the hips. Take a quick rest. Next, we're going to do a little reverse lunge action. We're going to add a little bit of a twist. Another great strength balance exercise. So from our neutral standing position, I want you to step your right foot back behind you, 1 to 2 step lengths, preparing for a reverse lunge. I want you can go keep your hands free or on a support source nearby. I want you to drop that right knee down towards the ground and just hover it. Okay, so both legs have come to that 90-degree angle. Then I want you to squeeze your abs and gently turn your shoulders, chest, and nose to the left. Then we'll come back to center. Push yourself back up out of that lunge. Step the right foot forward. And we'll repeat on the left side. So it's a very slow motion lunge. So we're going reverse lunge into a twist. And this is about the control we have in the movement. Remember, we're twisting towards the direction of our forward leg. So if right leg is forward, we're twisting to the right. If left leg is forward, we're twisting to the left. Nice job. Keep breathing. Keep your chest nice and proud. This is a challenging one, so if the twist isn't happening right away, I just want you to practice some of those reverse lunges, getting used to the motion first, and then add that twist when you're ready. Once again, I'm always talking about moving our bodies in different planes of motion, how important that is for your core stability, for your balance. Nice job, we're almost there. Let's go 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and finish the rep you're on. Come back to that neutral standing position. And let's move laterally now. So we're gonna go into those lateral leg raises, all right? So we'll start on the right. Hands are gonna be on my hips or on the wall, stationary support source. And I'm just gonna hover that right foot off of the floor, keeping a slight bend in my right knee, and just gently raising that right leg out to the side. And then I'll pull it back in towards my left knee until they get nice and close to each other, and repeat. Right side lateral leg raise. If you start to feel your leg kind of drifting forward, go ahead and pull it back. We want to keep our feet level. Remember, squeeze those abs, staying centered. Warming up those outer thighs, glutes. Our ankles are working very hard to keep us balanced. And 3, 2, 1. Let's get that right foot down, shake it out. And when you're ready, we'll switch to the left side. Left side lateral leg raises. Keeping the feet and knees even with each other. Just gently raising that left leg up and out to the side and pulling it back in. Hands are on our hips or on an external support source. Glutes are working, outer thighs working. All right, almost done with the standing portion. And 3, 2, 1. Pull that left leg in, shake the hips out, and let's make our way down to the mat in a tabletop position. So hands are both flat on the floor, knees are planted in the floor under my hips, keeping my back nice and flat. Grabbing a drink of water real quick. All right, let's keep that balance work going, but also start to really focus on the abdominals. We're gonna go into some bird dog crunches. All right, so I'll start by extending my right arm forward ahead of me, keeping my bicep level with my ear. As I do that, I'm going to extend my left leg back behind me straight and just about hip level. Once I'm in that extended position, I'm going to crunch my abs, bring my right elbow to left knee underneath my belly button, and then we're gonna extend again. Then I'll bring my right hand, left knee down and repeat on the other side, extending left arm forward, right leg back, elbow to knee, extend. And just repeat there. I want you to go nice and slow through the motion. Okay, so about 1, 2, up, 1, 2 together, 1, 2, up. Focusing on compressing the torso area, squeezing the abs towards your spine. Keeping your nose down towards the floor so you maintain that neutral spine, not compromising it by bending or flexing your neck. Nice job. We got just a few more. And then we're going to go into our first hold of the day. All right, in about 10 seconds, we're going to hold that extended version of the right arm, left leg. In 3, 2, 1, let's raise that right arm, extend the left leg back, hold, squeezing the abs, add a little pulse if you want, just gently raising and lowering the limbs. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. 3, 2, 1, let's pull it back in, going back into some reps. All right, we're gonna hold that left arm, right leg next. Make sure we're nice and prepared. 3, 2, 1. Extend that left arm forward, right leg back, keeping it even with your hips and shoulders. Add that pulse if you want. Keep everything tight and squeezed. And 3, 2, 1. Gorgeous. Bring everything back in. Cat cow it out if you need to. We're going to go into some bear holds next. All right, and if bear holds are very uncomfortable for shoulders or wrists, go ahead and do these same things from a forearm plank position. So you can have your elbows down into the floor, hands into fists, forearms trailing out in front of your elbows. And then you can either have knees planted in the floor with your hips kind of leaning forward as long as you're keeping your back flat, or you can be up on your toes in that full forearm plank. All right, so bear hold will just be in that tabletop position with our toes tucked under our foot. We're gonna hover the knees over the mat. So prepare for whatever hold you're picking right now. In 3, 2, 1. Hovering the knees in that bear hold or going into that forearm plank. Let's tighten the abs, belly button towards your spine. Breathe, focus. And 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and lower yourself. Take a quick break. And we're going to add a little flare to our next hold. All right. So we're going to do some rotations. If you're in that forearm plank, you're just gently dipping your hips down to the right, keeping your abs squeezed, and then come back to center and down to the left. All right. In 3, 2, 1. Let's go ahead and go up into our hold. If you're doing the bear hold, let's go ahead and dip that right knee down towards the floor. Hips go to the right. Squeeze, come back to center. Dip that left knee down to the floor. Back to center. Rotations. Just gently moving those hips. Dipping them to the left and right. 3, 2, 1. Bring it back to center. Take a quick rest. We got just one more version here. We're going to be doing a side step. All right, so you'll just be tapping your toes out to the right, bring them back in, tap your toes out to the left, bring them back in for whatever hold you're in. All right. In 3, 2, 1. Let's go into that hold. Keep those abs squeezed and toe taps, right, left. Nice job. Almost there. 3, 2, 1. Lower it down. Take a quick rest. For this next one, we're going to be doing some leg raises. So we have the option to stay with our arms extended in that tabletop, or you can lower yourself down to your forearms if you'd like to give those wrists a break. Okay? So find what position feels good for you. We're going to keep that left knee planted in the floor, and I'm going to have you extend your right leg back behind you. So toes are down in the floor. Right leg is straight. And let's go ahead and just raise that right foot, right toes off of the floor until that leg is straight back behind our hips. And then we'll lower, tap the toes, and raise again. So just a nice gentle leg raise on the right side. Not forgetting about those abs, keeping everything compressed in that torso area. Just raising the leg from the hip or the glutes. And let's go ahead and start to rainbow that leg. So I want you to tap your toes to the left corner of your mat, kick back up to center, and then tap your toes on the right side of the mat. A little leg raise rainbow. Glutes are burning up. Don't forget about the abs. We don't want the low back working for us. Coming in on fire. Let's go 3, 2, 1. Bring that right knee back in. Cat cow it out. Or shake the hips, shimmy the hips, whatever feels good. And let's work into that left leg. When you're ready, we'll extend the left leg back behind us. Find that comfortable position with our arms. Toes in the floor, left leg is straight, and let's raise it hip height and bring the toes back down. Standard leg raise, left side. So gentle working of the glutes, glute med. Ab reminder, go ahead and squeeze and engage them. And let's start to rainbow that leg. So tapping corner to corner, kicking that heel up in the center. But remember, we're not kicking that leg super high. We're trying to keep the leg as straight as possible and as level as we can with our hips. We don't want the low back to work. Glutes, glutes, glutes all day. And 3, 2, 1. Gorgeous. Let's bring that left leg in and let's make our way down to the mat in a lying position. So lying on our backs, grab a quick sip of water if you'd like. I'm going to do that. This little room I'm in gets real hot real fast. All right. So lying on our backs, gave ourselves a little time out for a second there. Let's go ahead and prepare for some dead bugs. So I want you to bring your feet off of the floor. Knees are going to be over your hips. Shins are parallel to the ceiling. Both arms are going to be extended over your shoulders, fingertips towards the ceiling. Starting position, dead bugs. We're going to drop that left arm down to hover over the floor in unison with our right leg, extending the right leg out, hovering the floor, or getting as low as we can, okay? The more gravity you put against yourself, the harder the exercise will be. After you've done that, pull them all back in together and repeat, dropping left leg, right arm, and pull it back in. So let's go ahead and alternate dead bugs. Keeping your spine and back as flat as possible on the floor. Okay, the big engagement of this exercise is the abs, how stable you can keep yourself while moving the appendages. Make sure we're keeping that a big focus, even when we go into the holds. All right, first hold's gonna be coming up shortly here, 10 seconds. We'll start with that left arm, right leg. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's hover. Right leg, left arm. Pin that belly button. Squeeze those abs. Hold, hold, hold. 3, 2, 1. Pull it back in. You can hug the knees to the chest. Roll it out a little bit if you need to. When you're ready, go back into those alternating dead bugs. We're not holding the breath during these exercises. We're trying to breathe and stay engaged. That's one of the biggest challenges. This is not an isometric exercise, but we wouldn't even hold our breath during an iso. All right, let's go into that opposite side hold. Right arm, left leg. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop it down. Keeping the abs tight. Breathe. You got this. 3, 2, 1. Pull it all back in. Give the knees a hug. Roll it out. All right, we're gonna work through our entire abdominal wall. So let's go ahead and drop the feet down to the floor. Knees are up towards the ceiling. We're gonna start by hitting those upper abs. So I want you to take your fingertips, interlace them behind your head so your elbows go out to the side. And we're just doing an upper ab crunch. So all I want you to do is tighten the upper abs, raising the head, shoulders, and upper back off of the floor. Kind of feeling that tightness in the upper abs. And then lower yourself back down and repeat. Upper ab crunch, feet stay planted, knees are still towards the ceiling. Trying to take those breaths. I always say exhale during the hard part. Exhale as you crunch up. Inhale as you extend the abs and lay back down. Fabulous work. Starting to feel a little bit of that fatigue. Nice job. 10 more seconds here, and then we're going to work those lower abs next with a reverse crunch or leg raise. 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Let's lay ourselves back down flat. Let's get our arms down by our sides, palms facing the floor, and let's extend our legs long out away from us. So from here, I want you to engage the abs, kind of glue your feet together, and then we're gonna raise those legs up towards the ceiling, and we'll lower. So this is a leg raise. If you wanna turn this into a full reverse crunch, you're gonna raise those legs and then bring the lower back off of the floor, kind of swinging the legs up and then lowering them again. This is really working those low abs. Oh, you can hear me shaking. Working the low abs. If it's really challenging to keep the legs straight, I want you to bend the knees, okay? But same motion, you might just be tapping the heels to the floor and then raising the legs up. Told you we're hitting that whole abdominal wall. Top to bottom, we'll hit the sides, we'll hit them fully. Keep breathing. Take breaks. Let's go 10 more seconds, reverse crunches. Three, 2, 1. Go ahead and lower the feet flat to the floor, knees to the ceiling. Let's take those hands, interlace them behind our head one more time. Elbows are out to the side. And then actually I want you to raise the feet off the floor, kind of tuck the knees over the hips. So now we're gonna do a full kind of toe tap crunch. So I want you to tap toes to the floor as you're lying. And then I want you to crunch your abs fully. Bring the knees up towards the chest. Drive the elbows towards your knees so you're in a full kind of ball crunched position. And then extend. So this is a full crunch. You're feeling upper abs, lower abs. I know Tara did glutes and obliques with you on Monday, so you gotta do full abdominals today. Keep breathing. Take that big exhale, crunch it all together. And 3, 2, 1. Whoo! Drop those feet down to the floor. Let yourself relax. You can drop your arms back down by your sides. Let's windshield wiper it out because my abs are on fire. So knees are towards the ceiling. Let's tighten the abs. Gently drop both knees down to the left. And then squeezing the abs one more time. Pull them back into center. And then drop the knees over to the right. Gentle twisting of the back. You can also have your hands kind of resting on your abs or belly. Beautiful. Let's pull those knees back into center. I gotta give you a little bit of glute work. Keep it all balanced, right? So let's go into our bridges, setting up for bridges. So feet are flat on the floor, knees are towards the ceiling. I want your feet slightly outside of your hips. Arms are down by your sides, palms facing the floor. Let's take that big inhale, tighten our abs, squeeze our glutes, and then push the hips up towards the ceiling. Glute bridge, holding for about 2 to 3 seconds at the top, and then let yourself lower, just tapping the glutes to the floor, and then raising again. Nice, slow glute bridges. Might still be feeling some residual in the abs. That's great. That means they're engaged during your bridge, which is what we want. We're strengthening that global core musculature, everything around your spine and your hips. Going slow motion through the bridge for that muscle time under tension, building strength. All right, let's go ahead and hold that glute bridge at the top. So get to the top, squeeze those glutes, tighten those abs, and breathe. So this is one of those isometric exercises because we're holding the position, but we still have to breathe. Make sure our muscles are getting oxygen from our blood. 10 seconds, you got this. Add a little pulse if you want. 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and lower it down. Take a quick rest. Let's pull the feet off of the floor, pointing the toes and gluing them together. Arms will stay down by our sides. We're just gonna do some toe taps to the sides of the mat. So I'm gonna tap both toes down to the left side of my mat. Keep the abs tight, pull them back in, and then tap them to that right side. Pull them back in. Very minimal with those obliques. Still working primarily lower abs. Gorgeous, keep it going, y'all. We are almost there. All right, 10 more seconds, toe taps. Then we're gonna go into some glute bridge marches. 3, 2, 1. Finish the rep you're on, of course. Drop the feet down, feet slightly outside of hips. Ready for that bridge. Once you're set up, go ahead and begin. Squeezing the glutes, drive the hips up. Drive those shoulders and heels into the floor. And repeat. And when you're ready, let's go ahead and push the hips up, tighten the abs. So we're in that bridge hold. And I want you to raise left foot off the floor, drive that knee towards your face. Place that left foot back down. Repeat, right side. There's a bridge hold with a march. Squeeze those abs. Whichever leg is staying planted on the floor is taking that weight. That glutes are working harder, the hamstrings. 3, 2, 1. Get both feet back down to the floor and lower your bridge. Beautiful. Let's keep it going. We're going to raise the legs up towards the ceiling so legs are straight. And we're going to have our arms, excuse me, hold on. I'm doing this wrong. Legs up, extend our arms up from our shoulders, fingertips towards the ceiling. And let's go ahead and reach fingertips towards those ankles and feet, right? So just my upper back, shoulders, head are coming off the floor. Crunching those upper abs again. But also keeping the lower abs engaged by having the legs up. Sure, just keep breathing. All right, we've been going center. Now I want you to go side to side. So reach those fingertips to the outside of your left ankle. Come back down. Outside of your right ankle and back down. Take those breaths, big exhales. Almost there, you got this. And 3, 2, 1. Bring it back in. Lower those feet down to the floor. And let's roll over onto our left side. All right. So we're on our left side. Let's stack our ankles, knees, and hips. And then I want you to raise your torso off of the mat by planting your left elbow into the floor. Left shoulder is stacked over left elbow. All right, so we're in that set up position for clamshell exercise. Remembering to keep ankles, knees, hips all stacked. You can place your right hand on your hip if you'd like, or you can just have it on the floor in front of you, whatever's more comfortable. To begin that clamshell exercise, make sure our abs are engaged and squeeze. We're pushing away from our left elbow, so our left shoulder is engaged as well. And then I just want you to gently raise that right knee up, away from the left knee, feeling those outer glutes, outer thighs work. And then we'll lower that knee back down to meet the left knee. Remember to keep your hips stacked. Your body's naturally going to want to open up and kind of roll onto your back. So let's stay on our side, stay hips stacked. Nice job. Keep it going, clamshells. Don't forget about that shoulder engagement. You're going to feel yourself start to sink into that shoulder. Keep it engaged. All right, and let's extend that right leg straight. Left leg stays bent where it started. And now we just have a gentle lateral leg raise from the side position. So I'm just lowering my foot to the floor. I'm keeping my leg straight, raising the leg, just hovering it off of the ground. It's not going higher than the hip, and lower. A nice gentle leg raise. Glutes are burning. And let's keep the leg raised. So holding here. And then let's just gently wave the leg forward and backwards. So kicking the foot forward, driving the heel back. You got this. This is a tough one. Keep the abs tight. And 3, 2, 1. Bring that leg back in so the knees are stacked. And then let's lower our torso all the way down to the floor. You can let your left arm kind of just extend away from the shoulder, or you can use it, your left bicep, as a pillow for your ears. I want you to take your right hand, place it on the back of your neck or head gently. So now your right elbow is towards the ceiling. This is our starting position of the side crunch. And now I want you to drive your elbow up towards your hips, keeping the knees stacked, squeezing those side muscles, obliques at the top, and then lower back down. And repeat. Side crunch, right side. And take these nice and slow, but we are finishing strong. Make sure we're breathing. Exhale, squeeze the side. And 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and relax, and let's roll ourselves over onto that right side to keep it all balanced. All right, so setting up for those initial clamshells. Feet, ankles, knees, hips are all stacked in that 90 degrees or a little bit more of an angle with your leg. Right elbow is planted into the floor, right shoulder is over right elbow, and I'm pushing away actively from that right elbow to keep the shoulder engaged. I'm tightening my abs. And when you're ready, left hand can go on your hip if you'd like, or on the floor. And we're beginning that clamshell exercise. So keeping the hips stacked as we raise the left knee up away from the right, and then lower it back down, and just repeat. We're imagining, or you might actually have one, a band around your knees kind of resisting you pulling that left leg away, or left knee. Working the outer left thighs, outer left glutes. Don't let yourself roll back onto those hips. Keep them stacked. Keep your chest and nose forward. Beautiful job. Shoulder reminder. Keep it engaged. Abs squeezed. And let's extend that left leg straight. Lateral leg raises. Remember, these don't need to be super high. So we want to keep the leg as straight as possible. Left foot is flexed. Feeling those left glutes. And let's go ahead and keep the leg raised. And let's kick the foot forward and backward. So all that movement is coming from your hip because the leg is straight. It's not our knee bending. Keeping the leg hovered over the floor. Forward, backward. And 3, 2, 1. Woo. Bring that left leg back in, stacking the knees. Let's lower ourselves all the way down to the floor. Keeping that right arm extended, or using that right bicep as a pillow. Left hand comes to the back base of your neck, back of your head. Left elbows towards the ceiling. Kind of pointed towards your wall in front of you, overhead. Anyways, okay. Starting position, side crunch. Let's go ahead and bring that left elbow up towards your hips, squeezing that left side, and lower back down. Side crunch. Take those breaths. Inhale as you lie, exhale as you crunch. We are almost there. Last 10 seconds of left side crunches. 3, 2, 1. Finish your last rep and let yourself lay down. Look at that. Cool down music right on cue. Let's bring ourselves fully onto our backs for a nice cool down and stretch. So we're lying on our back. Legs are extended, arms are down by our sides. Let's start by bringing the right knee up into our chest. Let's meet it with our hands and hug it in nice and close to our chest. And let's roll out that right ankle, doing some circles clockwise. Let's go 2 clockwise, 2 counterclockwise. We did some balance today. So those ankle muscles worked for us. They're very small, but very strong. And let's go ahead and extend that right leg back out. Switch to the left, bringing left knee up into our chest, meeting it with our hands, giving it a big hug. Pull it in. And ankle circles, 2 clockwise, 2 counterclockwise. And let's bring that right knee back up, giving both knees a hug into our chest. You can just roll left to right, massage that lower back if you'd like, or you can go into a happy baby stretch by grabbing the bottoms of your feet and extending your knees until your feet go, the bottoms of your feet are parallel to the ceiling. Stretching those inner thighs, hips. And let's release whichever stretch we were doing. Let the legs go back out long. And let's bring ourselves to a seated position. Let's go ahead and bring right knee up into our chest. We're going to that Barbie on the beach. So we'll step right foot over left knee, continuing to hug that knee into the chest. And let's turn our shoulders to the right, stretching the right glute complex. Starting to feel our heart rate come back down, breathing rate come back down. And let's switch it out, extending that right leg back out away from us. Left knee comes up and into the chest. Left foot steps over right knee. And chest, shoulders turn to the left, stretching the left glutes. And let's release that left leg and transition into butterfly. We will pull both legs in, bring the bottoms of our feet together out in front of us. Knees will drop out to the sides. You can hold on to your feet with your hands if you'd like, or you can just lean yourself forward, inner thigh stretch. And let's go ahead and release that butterfly and transition into a child's pose. So we'll go knees down into the floor. We'll widen them out slightly outside of our hips. And then our hands will be flat on the floor. We'll walk them away from our torso and shoulders, and we'll sink the hips back onto our heels. Child's pose stretch. Creating as much distance between your fingertips and your hips as you can. There's also many different things you can do with your arms. You could even reach them through your knees towards your feet. Sometimes that's comfortable. And let's push ourselves up and out of that child's pose. And let's go into a down dog to stretch that posterior chain. You can also do a puppy or a dolphin, but we'll tuck the toes under the foot. We will raise the knees up off of the floor, push the hips up towards the ceiling for a down dog stretch. Feel free to pedal those heels one at a time, pushing right heel down to the floor, bending left knee, and switching, pushing left heel, bending right knee. And let's one more time walk our hands back towards our feet. Reverse inchworm, bringing ourselves up to standing and giving ourselves a pat on the back. Nice job today, everyone. I hope you had a fun, lively core stability class. Thank you all so much for joining me.